Hello, everyone. Welcome to week number 51, my second to last live stream of my 52-week challenge. My guest today, Danny Luu, unfortunately got sick just today, and he's unable to join. So, our topic originally was about his personal story of overcoming a layoff during COVID, how he hit rock bottom, and how he was able to transition careers and be in a much better place today. But since he's not here, I decided to share a little bit of my story during COVID. Lost a lot of job responsibilities right before the start of COVID. I was very unmotivated at work, and I came out of that, and now actually came into a new company here. So if I'm going to share my story about how my work changed and how I overcame challenges during COVID. But if you would like to share your story as well, I'm going to drop a comment here. I'm going to drop a comment here and make sure you just join that link and join the link here. And if you want to join and share your story about the challenges you faced during COVID, click that link, and I'll have you on here and we'll share your story. So let me start with my story about how I lost my job responsibilities at the start of COVID. So here in the Bay Area, our shutdown was sometime in mid-March of 2020. A couple weeks before that, I had my performance review with my manager, with my senior manager, and actually my functional manager as well. And I had great reviews. Everything was great. But my senior manager said, "Oh, we hired someone to take over your projects," and I wasn't sure how to react. I said, "Well, what am I going to be working on?" And she said, "Oh, we have other assignments for you." So I keep thinking back at that situation and trying to see if I should have been a little more, I don't know, agitated, more angry at the situation rather than just accepting it and not challenging it. So I lost the 3 projects I was working on. I had to train the new person that was hired on my projects, and of course the pandemic hit. So, or the shutdown happened. The pandemic just started then. So at that time, I couldn't even look for a job because no one was hiring. Right, everyone's getting laid off. How am I going to go find a job? So over the next 3 to 6 months, I had my extra assignments. I'm making PowerPoint slides for meetings. I'm attending these meetings where I really don't present, but because I made the slides, I'm there. But it wasn't very engaging at all. I wasn't growing. I was getting bored. I was working maybe 10 hours a week at that point with the amount of work I had, if even that. But one thing that got me through that was, yes, I really dislike what I'm working on right now. I don't like what I'm doing, but I still have a job. I'm still getting paid. I don't need to go in the office. And again, this is the very beginning of the pandemic where everyone was scared of COVID. You had to maintain 6 feet when there was no vaccines yet. So I looked at that perspective as I'm fortunate to still have my job despite losing all my job responsibilities, and I get to work from home. So that got me through, and got me through for about 3 months. The senior manager left the company, and then a new senior manager came in, and I had a new manager as well. So a couple months later, in around the July-August timeframe, I told my new manager that I'm absolutely bored. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm working 10 hours a week. I'm not doing anything, right? I'm just I'm just unhappy where I am. And he said, "Okay, let me see what I can do." So in August, he met with the senior manager, and they gave me 2 or 3 projects to work on. So I got exactly what I asked for. I asked for projects to work on, and I continued to do that. I led these projects. I managed the budget. I managed the schedule. I worked with our suppliers. I presented to management. I presented to our customer. So I was very much happy again, right? And again, I'm working from home. I'm very engaged, and just those 4 to 5 months in between where I really had nothing to do, it sucked. And earlier I said, earlier I shared the perspective that I'm fortunate to have a job. The other perspective I took was that I'm going to have a long career. It's going to be 20, 30, whatever, how many years. What is 3 months? What is 6 months of doing what I don't want to do? Again, it's just such a small part of my very, very long career. So with the new job in the same company here, I had the projects, I was leading projects, I was very, very happy again. And then in July of this year, um, Applied Materials reached out to me directly, and I wasn't. Let me step back a bit. Actually, I wasn't really looking to job search yet. My major project was going to finish around October of this year, and I decided I was like, okay, when we get a little closer, when we get a little closer um, to that date, a month or two before, I'm going to start job searching on my own, right? Because my project's going to wrap up. But actually, before that, in July, Applied Materials reached out to me and said, if you're interested in the obsolescence program manager position, send me your resume. It was a direct message from LinkedIn, and I said, sure, I'll here's my resume, and at the very least, I get some practice for interviews, right? It's been about a couple years since I had an interview, and I had all this project management experience that I've done that I haven't really practiced yet for interview. So I went through a series of about 6 or 7 one-on-one interviews. Met with the hiring manager twice, once at the beginning, once at the very end, and they gave me an offer within a week after that, after all the interviews. So I went back to my previous company and said, I have this opportunity out here, and I'm putting in my 2 weeks, and let me know how I can support the next person coming on. So, going from the lowest point of being absolutely bored at work right at the start of the pandemic, losing all my job responsibilities, to a year and a half later being in a brand new company. I've been at Applied Materials now for 3 months now, and it's been great. I've been learning a lot. I now have ownership of the various projects and programs I'm working on, and I'm making an impact in the company. So for any of you out there that are struggling in your job search or really unhappy with your job, look at it as, it's temporary. We're all gonna have a long career. What is a few months? What is 6 months of doing something we don't like, or doing something that's not part of our career growth? Any opportunity is a learning opportunity. You get to learn new skills. You get to do something new, and maybe you just simply learn, I don't like doing this. So in your career, again, it's not a straight line, right? You might want to go to a certain title, or certain uh, you want to reach certain goals in your career, but it's going to take a lot of twists and turns, and it's never a straight path. Did I imagine myself losing all my projects? Absolutely not. Did I imagine working at Applied Materials? No, not really. They reached out to me, but I'm happy that these opportunities and these challenges came my way, because now if I get into another point where I lose my projects or lose my responsibilities, I learned that I have to be more vocal. I have to fight against it and understand the true reason, rather than just accepting it what it is. And you know that was probably the lowest point in my career so far. But again, those challenges that we face make us stronger, and help us grow, and it just makes us to who we are. So that's my story of losing my job responsibilities right before COVID, doing something I didn't like, getting new opportunities when new management came in, and then transitioning onto a new company. If you want to share your story about your layoff during COVID, or any challenges you faced during COVID with your career, um, join the link here. I want to hear from you. Join the StreamYard link that I just put right in the comments. Share your story, and I just want to just make this an open forum. If you're comfortable sharing what struggles you went through, just join me here, and we'll chat, and we'll share with everyone. Okay, so while I'm waiting for people to join the StreamYard, share the story, I'm going to highlight a few comments here. Hi James, always the first to comment. Really, really appreciate your support on my live streams. Hi Yvonne, thanks for joining. As I said in the beginning, Danny unfortunately got really, really sick today, so he couldn't share his personal story of being laid off during COVID, and then his hitting rock bottom, and transitioning to a new career. So I just shared my story there. Yes, and hi June. Yeah, thank you for commenting. And if you want to share your layoff story, feel free to join the StreamYard that's in the comments. But your career goes so many different paths. It takes twists and turns. It goes so many different directions that you can't really plan it out. So you just have to be able to. You have to be willing to be flexible, or change as you go, and see where the path takes you. So if you want to share your story about the challenges you faced in your career during COVID, check the comments here. I put a StreamYard link for you to join. I'll wait here for another minute or so, see if anyone else has anything to share, uh, and I'll stand by here. Yep. If you want to share your story related to your career change or layoff or anything during COVID, check the comments of the live stream. I'm going to put it back here again, and join me here and share your story. All right. So I don't see anyone joining the StreamYard here, but again, I just apologize. My guest today, Danny Luu, he got really, really sick today. He lost his voice. Just terrible, terrible timing, and he couldn't share his story. But I just shared my story about my career change, my transition during COVID, and now I'm at a new company that came out of all of that. So very, very short LinkedIn Live. This is number 51. Next week, I got number 52, my very last live stream. It's going to be me and my fiance teaching everyone how to make dumplings live on LinkedIn. So make sure to tune in on that. I'll share some more details on that on LinkedIn next Wednesday. So thank you all for watching, hearing my story, and if you thank you for listening to my story here, and to everyone, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week when I'm making dumplings live on LinkedIn.